Some stories stay hidden in the shadows, waiting to be uncovered. At Twisted Truths, we take you beyond the headlines to explore the stories that haunt our collective curiosity. From chilling unsolved mysteries to shocking twists, we uncover the dark, dramatic, and unthinkable. Our channel is more than storytelling, it's a journey into the unknown. With every case, we balance gripping drama with hard-hitting facts to uncover the truth. Who killed them? Why did they vanish? And what truths remain buried beneath the lies? Each episode dives deep into the mysteries that keep you awake at night. Subscribe to Twisted Truths and join a community of true crime enthusiasts as we shine a light on the darkest mysteries of our world. Don't just hear the story, be a part of uncovering the truth.
It was supposed to be a trip to remember, but for Elisa Lam it turned into her final chapter. What happened to the young woman who vanished in one of Los Angeles' most infamous hotels? Was it an accident, foul play, or something far more sinister? Today on Twisted Truths, we dive into the mystery that shocked the world, the haunting case of Elisa Lam. Elisa Lam was a 21-year-old college student from Canada, a bright, curious soul with dreams of adventure. In January 2013, she traveled solo to Los Angeles as part of her West Coast journey. She checked into the Cecil Hotel, a place infamous for its dark history. Serial killers, mysterious deaths, and chilling paranormal claims. But Elisa had no idea what horrors awaited her there. After Elisa's disappearance, LAPD launched an extensive investigation. Her belongings were found in her room, but Elisa was nowhere to be seen. The key clue came from the hotel's surveillance footage, the infamous elevator video. In it, Elisa exhibits strange behavior, pressing multiple buttons, stepping in and out, and seemingly hiding from something. This video baffled investigators and fueled countless theories. 19 days after Elisa disappeared, her body was found inside the hotel's rooftop water tank, discovered by maintenance workers investigating complaints of low water pressure. But here's where the mystery deepens. The tank was sealed, accessible only through locked doors and alarms. How did Elisa end up there? Was it foul play or a tragic accident? To this day, the mystery of Elisa Lam continues to haunt true crime enthusiasts and investigators alike. Was it a tragic accident caused by mental health struggles? Or did the dark history of the Cecil Hotel claim another victim? One thing is certain, the questions linger, and the answers may never surface. What do you think happened to Elisa Lam? Share your theories in the comments below. And if you're drawn to mysteries like this, hit the subscribe button and join the Twisted Truths community. Together, let's uncover the darkest secrets of our world.
Frozen wilderness. A mystery unfolds. High in the Ural Mountains of Russia, a place of desolate beauty and unforgiving cold. Winter, 1959. A group of hikers ventured into the wilderness. They never returned. Their fate, a chilling mystery that has baffled investigators for decades. We will journey back in time to unravel the secrets of what became known as the Dyatlov Pass Incident. The Dyatlov Pass Incident is one of the most enduring mysteries of the 20th century. The hikers were experienced. The weather was bad but not terrible. What really happened on that mountain? Meet the hikers' dreams and ambitions cut short. 9 young hikers full of life and eager to conquer the Ural Mountains. Led by the experienced Igor Dyatlov, they were a mix of students and graduates from the Ural Polytechnical Institute. Among them, Yuri Krivonyshenko, the life of the party, Zenaida Kolmogorova, the determined young woman, each with their own story, their own dreams. Their goal was to reach Otorten Mountain, a challenging trek, even for seasoned hikers. They documented their journey with cameras and diaries. These artifacts would later become crucial pieces in the puzzle of their disappearance. Campsite of Horrors. A scene of unexplained chaos. Weeks passed, no word from the hikers. A search party was assembled. What they found was both eerie and inexplicable. The hiker's tent was discovered on the slope of Kolatsiakal, the mountain of the dead. It had been cut open from the inside. Footprints in the snow, leading away from the tent, some barefoot, some poorly clothed. Inside the tent, belongings were scattered. Food remained uneaten. Most unsettling of all, the hikers were gone. The scene suggested a desperate flight. But why? What had terrified them so? Whispers of an avalanche. Could nature be so cruel? An avalanche, a force of nature capable of burying everything in its path. Could this be the explanation for the hikers' disappearance? Some evidence suggested it. The position of the bodies, some found buried in snow, the injuries consistent with a powerful force. However, doubts lingered. No evidence of a recent avalanche was found. The hikers were experienced. Would they have camped in such a vulnerable location? The mystery deepened, the avalanche theory failing to fully convince. Section 5. Unidentified encounters. Were they not alone in the wilderness, the frozen wasteland, a canvas for strange lights in the sky? Witnesses reported seeing orange orbs around the time of the incident. Could the hikers have stumbled upon something extraterrestrial? Theories of UFO sightings and alien encounters swirled. The strange glow on the skin of some victims, the missing tongues. Explanations were sought in the realm of the unknown. Was this a close encounter of the worst kind? The evidence, though circumstantial, fueled speculation. Section 6. Secrets in the Shadows. Did the Soviet military play a role? The Cold War, a time of secrecy and paranoia. The Dyatlov Pass Incident occurred within this climate of suspicion. Was it possible that the hikers inadvertently wandered into a restricted military zone? Theories pointed to secret weapons testing or military exercises gone wrong. The hikers' injuries, some resembling radiation burns, added fuel to the fire. The Soviet government's initial silence, followed by a hasty and inconclusive investigation, only intensified the speculation. Were they hiding something? The truth, lost in a web of secrecy. Section 7. The Enigma Endures. A mystery for the ages. The Dyatlov Pass incident remains an unsolved puzzle. Despite numerous investigations and countless theories, a definitive answer remains elusive. Was it a natural disaster, a paranormal encounter, or a cover-up? The evidence is contradictory, the truth shrouded in mystery. The Dyatlov Pass incident serves as a chilling reminder of the power of the unknown. It is a story that continues to fascinate and haunt, a testament to the enduring allure of unsolved mysteries. Section 8. Join the conversation. What truly transpired on that fateful night? The mystery of the Dyatlov Pass incident is far from over. New evidence continues to emerge. Theories are debated and re-evaluated. What do you think happened on that fateful night? Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. The holidays are a time for joy and celebration. But for the Ramsey family of Boulder, Colorado, Christmas 1996 ended in unimaginable tragedy. On December 26th, 6-year-old JonBenét Ramsey was found dead in the basement of her family home. Her tiny body revealed a brutal truth: she had been murdered. A ransom note left on the back staircase only deepened the mystery. It was a crime that would shock the nation. The discovery of JonBenét's body sent shockwaves through the community and beyond. Who could have committed such a heinous act against a child? The ransom note, with its strange demands and rambling tone, offered few clues. The investigation began immediately, but the crime scene unfortunately had been compromised. The horror of that Christmas morning would forever be etched in the minds of those who followed the case. It was a stark reminder that darkness can lurk even in the most idyllic of settings. The search for JonBenét's killer was on, but the path to justice would prove to be long and arduous. JonBenét Ramsey, with her blonde curls and infectious smile, was a star in the making. She was a regular in the world of children's beauty pageants, captivating audiences with her charm. Her parents, John and Patsy Ramsey, were prominent figures in Boulder. John was a successful businessman, while Patsy, a former beauty queen herself, doted on her children.
The Ramseys, at first glance, appeared to be the picture-perfect family. They lived in an affluent neighborhood and were well respected in the community. However, behind the facade of normalcy, there were whispers of secrets. Some speculated about financial troubles, while others pointed to possible marital discord. The Christmas before JonBenét's murder had been a joyous occasion. The family had celebrated at home, their house adorned with festive decorations. Little did they know that this would be their last Christmas together. The events of that holiday season would be scrutinized in the months and years to come.
The Boulder Police Department faced immense pressure to solve JonBenét's murder. However, the investigation was marred by missteps from the outset. The crime scene was not properly secured, allowing for potential contamination of evidence. The Ramseys, despite being the ones to find the body, were not thoroughly questioned until much later.
Theories about the killer's identity ran rampant. Some suspected an intruder, while others believed the killer was closer to home. The ransom note became a focal point of the investigation. Handwriting analysis was inconclusive, and the large sum of money demanded raised suspicions. The police focused their attention on John and Patsy Ramsey, suspecting a possible cover-up. However, no concrete evidence linked them to the crime. The lack of progress in the case led to public criticism of the police. The investigation seemed to be at a standstill. As months turned into years, the JonBenét Ramsey case took on a life of its own. The media frenzy surrounding the murder only intensified the pressure on investigators. False confessions emerged, further complicating the search for the truth. The public remained captivated, debating the merits of each new theory.
One of the most shocking twists in the case involved John Mark Carr, a schoolteacher who confessed to killing JonBenét. However, his confession was later proven false, highlighting the desperation surrounding the case. Theories about an intruder gained traction once more. Despite the passage of time, the mystery of JonBenét Ramsey's murder continues to fascinate and frustrate.
The case serves as a reminder of the complexities of such investigations and the enduring power of unanswered questions.
It's a story that has left an indelible mark on the community and beyond, a tragic tale that refuses to fade away.
A woman with everything, wealth, charm, and a future full of promise, steps out into the night and vanishes. No witnesses, no leads, no trace. This isn't just a mystery, it's a chilling reminder of how the truth can slip through our fingers. Tonight on Twisted Truths, we ask, what really happened to Eleanor Rayburn, the disappearing heiress? Buckle up, because this case will leave you questioning everything you think you know. Eleanor Rayburn wasn't just another wealthy socialite. As the only heir to the Rayburn family fortune, Eleanor was poised to take over a multi-billion-dollar empire. But beyond the glittering parties and charity galas, those close to her described her as reserved, even guarded at times. On October 12, 2021, Eleanor attended a high-profile charity event in downtown Chicago. Guests recall her leaving early, claiming she wasn't feeling well. But when she didn't return home that night, her family grew worried. By the next morning, the Rayburn family reported her missing, sparking one of the most extensive manhunts in Chicago's history. The investigation began with a critical clue. Eleanor's car was found abandoned just 2 miles from her home, parked at a desolate lot. Inside, her phone, purse, and a half-empty coffee cup were discovered. But there were no signs of a struggle. Was this a sign of foul play, or did Eleanor walk away on her own? Theories swirled. One involved her strained relationship with her father. Could a family feud have escalated into something sinister? Another theory centered on her brother, Adrian. Witnesses placed him at a bar near the lot that evening, but he denied seeing Eleanor. Adrian claimed he had no contact with his sister for months, but his alibi was shaky at best. 3 weeks into the search, an anonymous caller led detectives to an abandoned warehouse on the city's outskirts. Inside, they found Eleanor's scarf, blood-stained and discarded near a locked door. But the real discovery lay in the hidden basement. There, Police uncovered surveillance tapes showing Eleanor entering the SUV that night, willingly. Simon Carter, a family friend and the Rayburn estate manager, was revealed as the driver. Simon had no criminal record, no known motive, yet police found his fingerprints on the scarf and traces of blood in the SUV. When confronted, Simon confessed, but his story sent shockwaves through the investigation. To this day, Eleanor Rayburn remains missing. Simon was charged with obstruction of justice but was never implicated in her suspected murder. The Rayburn family continues to offer a $1 million reward for information leading to her whereabouts, but the question lingers. Did Eleanor meet a tragic fate, or did she outwit everyone and disappear on her own terms? If you have thoughts, theories, or even the wildest ideas about Eleanor's case, share them in the comments below. Let's keep her story alive. And remember, the truth is out there, it's just waiting to be uncovered. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more stories like this one on Twisted Truths. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe. February 9, 2004, a night etched in icy stillness. New Hampshire's Route 112, a desolate ribbon of asphalt winding through the White Mountains. It was here that a young woman's life veered sharply from the familiar, plunging into an abyss of unanswered questions. 21-year-old Maura Murray, a promising nursing student, vanished. Her disappearance, a chilling enigma that has gripped the nation for 2 decades. Maura's car, a battered Saturn sedan, rested silently by the side of the road. Its hazard lights blinked a desperate message into the night. Inside, signs of a frantic struggle. The driver's side airbag deployed, a single wine glass on the dashboard. But of Maura, no trace. No footprints in the snow, no witnesses, no ransom demands. The mystery of Maura Murray is not just a missing persons case, it's a chilling whisper that refuses to be silenced. The story of Maura Murray is a tapestry woven from threads of ordinary life abruptly severed. A young woman on the cusp of adulthood, she was a beloved daughter, a dedicated student, a loyal friend. Beneath the surface of normalcy, whispers of a hidden struggle, a DUI charge, a mysterious phone call, hinting at a lurking darkness. The search for Maura intensified. Police scoured the woods, divers plumbed lakes, helicopters buzzed overhead, but the wilderness held its secrets close. Volunteers distributed flyers, her face a haunting reminder. Was she running from her problems, or was there something more sinister? The truth remained buried beneath layers of snow and unanswered questions. Maura Murray, a name synonymous with a haunting mystery, was once a vibrant young woman brimming with potential. Born in 1982, Maura grew up in Hanson, Massachusetts, the third of 5 children in a close-knit Irish Catholic family. Her childhood photos reveal a bright smile, a twinkle in her eye, a life unfolding like the pages of a beloved storybook. From a young age, Maura excelled both academically and athletically. A natural leader, she captained her high school track team, her competitive spirit matched only by her infectious enthusiasm. Her dedication extended beyond the track, excelling in her studies and nurturing a close circle of friends. Maura possessed a warmth, a genuine kindness that drew people to her. Maura's dream was to become a nurse, a calling that resonated deeply within her. After graduating high school, Maura enrolled in the nursing program at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, a testament to her ambition and drive. College life at UMass Amherst brought new challenges and experiences for Maura. She embraced the independence, the intellectual stimulation, the camaraderie of dorm life. Yet beneath the surface of this seemingly idyllic existence, cracks began to appear. The weight of expectations, the pressure to succeed, the complexities of young adulthood, all cast shadows on Maura's once bright path. Academically, Maura's performance began to waver, a stark contrast to her previous excellence. She confided in friends about feeling overwhelmed, the demanding nursing curriculum taking its toll. Sleepless nights, mounting anxiety, and a growing sense of isolation crept into her life. Adding to her struggles was a recent DUI charge, a mistake that shook Maura deeply. The consequences weighed heavily on her conscience, amplifying the existing pressures she faced. The days leading up to Maura's disappearance were marked by puzzling events. On February 7, 2004, Maura totaled her father's car in an accident. Though unharmed, she was visibly shaken. That night, Maura made several calls to her boyfriend at West Point. Friends said she was distraught afterward. On February 9th, Maura packed, withdrew cash, and left her dorm. She emailed her professors about a false family emergency. Hours later, her car was found abandoned on Route 112. Maura Murray vanished, leaving unanswered questions that have haunted investigators for nearly 2 decades. The initial hours after a disappearance are critical, a race against time to gather evidence, chase down leads, and hopefully, bring a missing person home. In Maura Murray's case, those precious hours were hampered by a series of missteps, miscommunications, and a pervasive sense that somehow, the gravity of the situation was misjudged. When Maura's car was discovered on Route 112, the scene was treated as a routine accident. A bus driver, passing by shortly after the crash, reported seeing a young woman, presumably Maura, standing by the vehicle. The responding officer, assuming Maura had sought help from a nearby resident, noted the accident but didn't immediately file a missing person report. By then, precious time had been lost. As news of Maura's disappearance spread, a massive search effort was launched. Hundreds of volunteers joined law enforcement, combing the dense woods surrounding the crash site. Divers braved the icy depths of nearby bodies of water, while helicopters scanned the rugged terrain from above. But the wilderness yielded no answers, only a haunting silence. Witnesses reported seeing a young woman matching Maura's description in the area, but none of these sightings could be definitively corroborated. Rumors swirled through the small town of Haverhill, whispers of a transient scene near Maura's car, a suspicious vehicle speeding away from the scene. Each tip was meticulously pursued, each dead end deepening the mystery. As days turned into weeks, the hope of finding Maura alive began to dwindle. The initial theory that she had wandered off into the woods disoriented after the crash became increasingly untenable. The freezing temperatures, the lack of any footprints in the snow, the absence of any logical reason for her to disappear voluntarily, all pointed to a more sinister possibility. The investigation shifted focus, moving away from a simple missing person case towards something darker, more unsettling. The scent, once faint but promising, was growing cold, leaving investigators and Maura's family grappling with the agonizing possibility that they were dealing with something far more complex, far more sinister than anyone had initially imagined. With time slipping away, the Maura Murray case began to attract national attention. The FBI joined the investigation, bringing advanced resources and a fresh perspective. Haverhill, a quiet New England town, was thrust into the media spotlight. The FBI's involvement led to a thorough examination of Maura's life and relationships. Agents interviewed friends, family, and classmates, piecing together a timeline of Maura's final days. Maura's computer, cell phone records, and online activity were scrutinized for clues. Every email, search history entry, and online interaction became a potential breadcrumb. As the investigation dug deeper, the focus shifted towards those closest to Maura. Her family, while publicly maintaining their belief that Maura was still alive, became subject to scrutiny. The police explored the possibility that someone within Maura's inner circle might have information about her disappearance. The scrutiny extended to Maura's boyfriend, who was away at West Point. Their phone conversations were analyzed for any signs of tension. Adding to the complexity were inconsistencies in Maura's actions. Why the elaborate lie? Was she trying to cover her tracks? Or was she running from something? The questions lingered, casting a shadow of doubt over the investigation. In the years since Maura's disappearance, the investigation has increasingly turned to technology in the hope of uncovering new leads. Forensic experts have revisited Maura's digital footprint, analyzing her online activity, cell phone data, and any other electronic trails she might have left behind. One avenue of exploration has been the possibility that Maura planned her disappearance. Her online search history revealed visits to websites discussing how to disappear, how to create a new identity, how to vanish without a trace. While these searches could be interpreted in various ways, they added another layer of complexity to an already baffling case. By analyzing the pings from Maura's phone, investigators have been able to create a more detailed picture of her travels on the day she disappeared. These digital breadcrumbs, while not definitive, offered tantalizing hints that might one day help to unravel the mystery of Maura Murray's fate. Years drifted by, each one etching the mystery of Maura Murray deeper into the annals of unsolved cases. The initial flurry of activity had long since subsided, replaced by a quiet hum of determination, a refusal to let Maura's memory fade. Then, in 2010, a glimmer of hope, a flicker in the darkness. A local landowner, exploring a wooded area not far from the crash site, stumbled upon a curious sight. A blue bandana partially buried in the soil. The bandana, similar to one Maura was known to wear, sent a jolt of electricity through the investigation. Could this be the breakthrough they had been waiting for? Forensic testing, however, proved inconclusive. The glimmer of hope, like so many before it, flickered and faded, leaving behind a renewed sense of frustration and a lingering question. What had happened to Maura Murray? As time marched on, the case continued to attract amateur sleuths and armchair detectives, each with their own theories and interpretations of the scant evidence. One location in particular became a focal point for speculation, a nondescript A-frame house situated a short distance from where Maura's car was found. Rumors had circulated for years about the house and its possible connection to Maura's disappearance. Some whispered of strange occurrences in the area, of shadowy figures seen coming and going from the property. Others pointed to the homeowner, a recluse with a troubled past, as a potential suspect. While investigators had visited the house on multiple occasions, no concrete evidence linking it to Maura's disappearance was ever uncovered. Yet, the house remained, in the minds of many, a symbol of the unanswered questions, the lingering doubts that continued to swirl around the case. The disappearance of Maura Murray is a stark reminder that even in an age of instant communication and ubiquitous surveillance, some mysteries refuse to be solved. The threads of her life, once so vibrantly woven into the tapestry of family, friendship, and ambition, were abruptly severed on that desolate stretch of New Hampshire highway. What remains is a void, an empty space where her future should have been. For Maura's family, the pain of her absence is a constant companion. Years turn into decades, seasons change, yet the ache in their hearts remains as raw as the day she vanished. They cling to hope, fueled by the unwavering belief that somewhere, somehow, Maura is still out there, waiting to be found. Each missing person represents a shattered family, a community left grappling with unanswered questions, and a void that can never truly be filled. The mystery of Maura Murray continues to captivate the public imagination, inspiring countless articles, books, podcasts, and documentaries. Amateur sleuths pore over the evidence, debating theories and chasing down leads, determined to crack the code that has eluded seasoned investigators for so long. The case, with its tantalizing clues, conflicting accounts, and haunting lack of resolution, serves as a stark reminder of the limitations of human understanding. We crave closure, a neat and tidy ending that will satisfy our need for order in a chaotic world. But sometimes the answers remain elusive, hidden in the shadows, whispered on the wind. And so, the question echoes, unanswered, a chilling whisper in the darkness. Where is Maura Murray? A bride on the brink of her dream wedding, suddenly gone without a trace. The car was abandoned, the wedding dress untouched, and the nation left in shock. What really happened to Jessica Reynolds? Today on Twisted Truths, we uncover the haunting mystery that left an entire country stunned. Let's go back to where it all began. Jessica Reynolds was a 28-year-old teacher from Charleston, South Carolina, described by friends and family as someone who lit up every room she entered. She had been planning her wedding for over a year, set to marry her high school sweetheart, Ethan Carter. On the morning of October 15, 2019, Jessica was seen leaving her apartment. She told her maid of honor she was running a last-minute errand. But that was the last time anyone ever saw her. The investigation began almost immediately. Her car was found abandoned near Ravenwood Park, with no signs of a struggle. Inside, detectives discovered her wallet and phone, but her wedding dress remained untouched in the back seat, as if she had no intention of running away. Authorities initially focused on Ethan Carter, who was reportedly distraught but cooperative. His alibi checked out, leading investigators to consider other possibilities. Then, an eyewitness came forward with a chilling claim. They saw a woman matching Jessica's description arguing with a man near a gas station just hours before she disappeared. For months the case went cold, until a hiker stumbled upon a chilling discovery in 2021. Hidden in the woods, just miles from where her car was found, were fragments of lace fabric believed to be from her wedding dress. Forensic tests revealed traces of DNA, but shockingly, they didn't match anyone in Jessica's immediate circle. This discovery reignited speculation that her disappearance may be connected to a string of unsolved cases in the Charleston area, all involving women who vanished under similar circumstances. Could this be the work of a serial predator? Despite new leads, the case of Jessica Reynolds remains unsolved. Her family continues to hope for answers while investigators comb through the evidence with the aid of modern forensic technology. Will justice ever be served? Or will this case remain one of the most haunting mysteries of our time? We'd love to hear your thoughts. What do you think happened to Jessica Reynolds? Do you believe the new evidence will finally crack the case? Let us know your theories in the comments below. If you found this story intriguing, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Twisted Truths, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into the world's most baffling mysteries. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe. Secrets. They have the power to destroy lives, rip families apart, and leave a stain that time can't erase. But what happens when those secrets are so dark, so shocking that they go undetected for decades? In today's episode of Twisted Truths, we uncovered the chilling case of the Silent Witness, a small-town enigma whose story is one of lies, betrayal, and an unbelievable twist you won't see coming. Our story begins in the picturesque town of Willow Creek, where the Thompson family lived a seemingly idyllic life. Helen Thompson, a doting mother and community organizer, was the kind of person everyone loved. Her husband Daniel was a respected teacher at the local high school, but behind closed doors, their teenage daughter Emily began to suspect that her family wasn't as perfect as they seemed. Strange phone calls in the middle of the night, locked drawers in her father's study, and whispered arguments became a regular occurrence. What Emily didn't know was that her father's locked drawer held a journal that would reveal a secret so dark, it would shatter the image of the man she thought she knew. In 1987, Emily went to the police with her suspicions, but they didn't take her seriously. After all, Daniel Thompson was a respected figure in the community. It wasn't until a local journalist, Linda Carter, started digging into unsolved disappearances in the area that things took a sinister turn. Linda uncovered a disturbing pattern. 6 women had gone missing over a span of 15 years, all within 50 miles of Willow Creek. What's more chilling? The disappearances coincided with Daniel's frequent business trips. Finally, in 1989, police obtained a warrant to search the Thompson residence. What they found in Daniel's study left even seasoned investigators stunned. A collection of photographs, IDs, and personal belongings linked to the missing women. But the story doesn't end there. During the investigation, police discovered a locked trunk buried in the Thompson family's backyard. Inside, they found human remains, and a chilling letter written by Helen. The letter revealed that Helen had known about Daniel's dark secret all along. She had stayed silent out of fear, but her guilt consumed her. The letter was both a confession and a desperate plea for forgiveness. Daniel was convicted of multiple counts of murder, but to this day, investigators believe there are more victims whose stories remain untold. Emily Thompson, now an advocate for survivors of abuse, has dedicated her life to helping others uncover the truth. Her courage to speak up led to the unraveling of a mystery that haunted her family for years. This case serves as a grim reminder of how darkness can lurk beneath even the brightest facades. What would you do if you discovered a secret this horrifying? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you were captivated by today's story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Twisted Truths for more shocking tales every week. And remember, every truth, no matter how twisted, deserves to be uncovered. What if one of America's greatest mysteries wasn't about the crime, but about the victim? In 1957, the lifeless body of a boy was found abandoned in a cardboard box in the outskirts of Philadelphia. Who was he, and why was he so cruelly left behind? Decades later, this chilling case remains unsolved, shrouded in questions that continue to baffle investigators and haunt the world. The year was 1957. In the quiet neighborhood of Fox Chase, Philadelphia, a gruesome discovery shocked the nation. A young boy, believed to be 4 to 6 years old, was found in a discarded cardboard box, his body bruised and wrapped in a cheap flannel blanket. The discovery was made by a young man checking animal traps, but fearing police involvement, he delayed reporting it. When the authorities were finally alerted, they found themselves faced with more questions than answers. Police launched an extensive investigation, tracing the cardboard box to a department store and examining the blanket for fibers. Flyers were distributed citywide, displaying sketches of the boy, but no one came forward. Theories began to emerge. Could he have been the victim of family abuse, a foster child erased from the system, or perhaps a runaway tragically abandoned and forgotten? Decades later, advancements in DNA technology brought hope. Genealogists tried to trace his lineage, but with no close matches, the mystery of his identity endured. In a surprising twist, a woman came forward in 2002 claiming the boy was her brother, sold to an abusive family. While her story was chilling, it lacked the evidence needed to confirm her claims. Even today, forensic genealogy attempts to unravel the mystery. But every new lead seems to deepen the sorrow of this unresolved tragedy. In 1998, the boy was reburied under a gravestone marked America's Unknown Child. His resting place has become a symbol of the countless untold stories of lost lives. What do you think happened to the boy in the box? Could modern technology finally provide answers, or will this mystery remain unsolved forever? If you were captivated by today's story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Twisted Truths for more gripping mysteries and dark tales. Every story, no matter how twisted, deserves to be uncovered.
Hollywood, 1947. Beneath the glitz and glamour, a chill ran down the city's spine. A darkness had seeped into the city of dreams, staining its sidewalks with fear. It whispered of a killer shrouded in shadow who preyed upon those chasing the silver screen's allure. This wasn't a scene from a film noir, this was a horrifying reality, and at its heart lay a murder so brutal, so perplexing, that it would forever haunt the annals of Hollywood history. This was the case of the Black Dahlia. This wasn't just a murder, it was a spectacle. The brutality shocked even the most hardened detectives. It spoke of a rage that went beyond mere violence, hinting at something far more sinister and calculated. The victim, a young woman with dreams as big as the Hollywood sign itself, became a symbol of innocence lost, a stark reminder that darkness could lurk even in the brightest of places. Elizabeth Short, a name that echoed through the decades, synonymous with tragedy and mystery. She was a young woman of striking beauty with jet black hair and piercing blue eyes who arrived in Hollywood carrying a suitcase full of dreams. Like countless others before her, she longed to see her name in lights, to captivate audiences with her talent and charisma, but fate, it seemed, had other plans. Elizabeth's life was a tapestry woven from ambition and hardship. She worked odd jobs, her beauty often opening doors to opportunities. She frequented the nightclubs that dotted Sunset Boulevard, her presence a flicker of light in the smoky haze. She yearned for the spotlight, unaware that it would ultimately shine on her in the most tragic of circumstances. January 15th, 1947. The morning began like any other, the sun casting its golden glow upon the sprawling city. Yet, in a vacant lot on the edge of town, a scene of unimaginable horror lay waiting to be discovered. A young mother, pushing her baby stroller through the quiet streets, stumbled upon a sight that would forever etch itself into her nightmares. There, amidst the overgrown grass and discarded debris, lay the body of Elizabeth Short. Her lifeless form, grotesquely posed, was a canvas of unimaginable cruelty. Her body had been severed at the waist, drained of blood, and her face contorted into a chilling grin. This wasn't just murder. It was a macabre work of art, a spectacle designed to shock and terrify. Section 4. Shadows of Suspicion. The discovery of Elizabeth Short's body sent shockwaves through Hollywood and beyond. Newspapers splashed the gruesome details across their front pages, fueling a media frenzy that gripped the nation. The police, under immense pressure to catch the killer, launched a massive investigation, chasing down countless leads and interviewing a cast of characters that seemed straight out of a film noir. The investigation quickly spiraled into a maze of dead ends and false leads. Suspects emerged from the shadows, each with their own secrets and potential motives. There were jealous lovers, spurned suitors, and opportunistic predators, all vying for their moment in the spotlight of this gruesome case. But as the weeks turned into months, the killer remained elusive, a phantom haunting the streets of Hollywood. Section 5. The Black Dahlia Avenger. Among the many names whispered in connection with the Black Dahlia murder, one stood out with chilling prominence: Dr. George Hodel. A successful physician with a dark side, Hodel had the intelligence, the surgical skills, and, some argued, the twisted psyche to have committed such a heinous crime. His own daughter, haunted by fragmented memories and her father's disturbing behavior, became convinced of his guilt. Fueled by a daughter's unwavering conviction, the case against Dr. George Hodel gained momentum. His connection to Elizabeth Short, though tenuous, his unsettling behavior, and his access to surgical tools all pointed towards a horrifying possibility. Could this respected doctor be the monster who committed such a depraved act? Section 6. Ghosts of the Past. Decades passed and the Black Dahlia case remained unsolved, a cold case file gathering dust in the LAPD archive. But the story refused to die. New evidence emerged, whispers of long-buried secrets and tantalizing clues that hinted at a conspiracy reaching far beyond a single murder. Forensic experts re-examined the evidence, using modern technology to unlock the secrets held within decades-old fibers and DNA samples. The investigation took a chilling turn as connections were drawn between the Black Dahlia murder and other unsolved homicides from the same era. A pattern emerged, a string of brutal killings bearing eerie similarities to the mutilation and posing of Elizabeth Short's body. Was the Black Dahlia the work of a serial killer, operating under the radar in the shadows of post-war America? Section 7. An enduring enigma. The Black Dahlia murder remains one of Hollywood's most enduring mysteries. It is a story that has captivated generations, inspiring countless books, films, and documentaries. The case continues to fascinate and horrify, a stark reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface of even the most glamorous of worlds. What are your thoughts on the Black Dahlia murder? Share your theories and insights in the comments below.
It's known as the Long Island serial killer case, a mystery that has haunted families and investigators for over a decade. On the surface, Gilgo Beach appears to be a peaceful stretch of coastline, calm waves, soft sands, but just beneath lies a horrifying secret. For years, the remains of young women were unearthed in these marshy dunes, each discovery more sinister than the last. And now, with recent shocking developments, new evidence has emerged that could rewrite everything we thought we knew about these horrifying murders. The victims, mostly young women, their lives tragically cut short, left behind families desperate for answers. Who was this monster preying on the vulnerable? Was it one killer? Or were there more lurking in the shadows? Stay with us, subscribe for more, and drop your theories in the comments as we uncover the dark truths about Gilgo Beach. Our story starts in December 2010, when a routine search turned into a discovery that shocked the nation. Police were searching for Shannon Gilbert, a 24-year-old escort who had vanished following a desperate 911 call claiming, "They're trying to kill me." Shannon had disappeared into the night, last seen running frantically down a darkened street in Oak Beach, a gated community near Gilgo. Her phone call, filled with terror and confusion, offered few clues and even more questions. What had she stumbled upon? Who were the they Shannon was so afraid of? The search for Shannon brought investigators to the desolate stretches of Ocean Parkway, a road that snakes along the desolate beauty of Gilgo Beach. But what they found, however, wasn't Shannon, but 4 other bodies wrapped in burlap sacks, lying along the desolate beach road. The discovery sent a chill down the spines of even the most seasoned detectives. This wasn't just a missing persons case anymore, this was something far more sinister. The first body was found just a few feet from the road, partially concealed by the tall reeds and beach grass. It was the body of a young woman, her remains wrapped in burlap, as if discarded like trash. As investigators spread out, combing through the undergrowth, a horrifying realization dawned on them. This was not an isolated incident. 3 more bodies, all young women, were discovered within a short distance of the first. The bodies were too decomposed to be immediately identified, but the details were chillingly similar. All 4 were found wrapped in burlap, a detail that spoke to a terrifying level of premeditation and callousness. Whoever was responsible had gone to great lengths to conceal their crimes, but the ocean, it seemed, was ready to give up its secrets. The discovery of the 4 bodies sent shockwaves through Long Island and beyond. Who were these women, and how did they end up discarded along this lonely stretch of beach? The news spread like wildfire, and soon the once quiet community of Gilgo Beach was overrun with reporters, investigators, and curious onlookers, all trying to make sense of the unthinkable. The discovery of the 4 bodies sent a collective shiver down the spines of Long Island residents, particularly those living in the shadow of Gilgo Beach. The once idyllic coastal communities found themselves grappling with the horrifying realization that a killer, or killers, might be living among them. Fear and suspicion gripped the area. Neighbors who once exchanged friendly greetings now eyed each other with suspicion. Parents were afraid to let their children out of their sight, and a palpable sense of unease hung heavy in the air. The once bustling beaches of Long Island were now deserted, the sound of crashing waves replaced by the unsettling silence of fear. The image of the 4 victims, discarded like trash along Ocean Parkway, became seared into the minds of many, a haunting reminder of the darkness that had descended upon their community. As days turned into weeks, and the investigation dragged on with few leads, the fear began to morph into frustration. The residents of Long Island demanded answers. They wanted to know who was responsible for these horrific crimes, and they wanted justice for the victims. These weren't unrelated victims. They were all young women reportedly involved in the escort business. They were mothers, daughters, sisters, and friends, each with their own story, their own dreams, their own lives tragically cut short. The families of the victims were left to grapple with the unimaginable pain of their loss, their grief compounded by the gruesome nature of the crimes and the constant media attention. The victims' stories, their hopes, their dreams, were all but drowned out by the sensationalized headlines and the public's morbid fascination with the case. And then, the nightmarish truth became even darker. Over the next year, 6 more sets of remains were found, including a toddler and an unidentified male. The discovery of the additional victims sent a shockwave through the community, shattering any lingering hope that the Gilgo Beach murders were an isolated incident. The fact that a toddler was among the victims added a new level of horror to the case. The thought that someone could harm a child, an innocent life, was simply incomprehensible. The community was left reeling, grappling with the knowledge that a killer or killers capable of such unspeakable acts might still be at large. The investigation into the Gilgo Beach murders was sprawling and complex, a tangled web of dead ends and false leads. Police pored over evidence, desperate for any clue that could lead them to the killer, but the more they uncovered, the deeper the mystery seemed to become. The victims, mostly young women working as escorts, had advertised their services online. Could this be the link? Was the killer someone they encountered through these websites? The digital world, with its anonymity and vast reach, presented both a challenge and an opportunity for investigators. Adding to the complexity was the sheer scale of the investigation. Multiple agencies were involved, each with their own theories and approaches. The pressure was on, the eyes of the world were watching, and yet the answers remained elusive. But amidst the chaos and uncertainty, one thing was clear. This was no ordinary killer. The dumping ground, the meticulous way the bodies were wrapped, it all pointed to someone methodical, someone who knew the area, someone who had likely done this before. As months turned into years, the investigation seemed to stall. Leads went cold, and the killer remained at large. A sense of frustration, of helplessness began to creep in, not just for the investigators, but for the families of the victims, desperate for answers, for justice. Then, whispers began to circulate, whispers of something rotten at the heart of the investigation. Rumors of police misconduct, of evidence mishandled, of potential connections between law enforcement and the illicit activities that had brought the victims to Long Island in the first place. Could it be true? Could those sworn to protect and serve be somehow involved in covering up, or even worse, participating in the very crimes they were supposed to solve? The allegations, if true, painted a chilling picture of corruption, of a system that had failed these women in life, and now in death. The investigation into the Gilgo Beach murders was no longer just about finding a killer, it was about confronting a darkness that seemed to permeate every level of the case. And then, there was Shannon Gilbert, the young woman whose disappearance had inadvertently led to the discovery of the other victims. Was she connected to the Gilgo Beach murders, or was her death a tragic but separate incident? Her 23-minute 911 call, a chilling record of terror and confusion, became a focal point of the investigation. In it, Shannon can be heard pleading for her life, her voice frantic, desperate. But from whom? And why? Some investigators believed Shannon's death was a tragic accident, a drug-induced panic attack that led her to flee into the marsh where she was later found. But others weren't so sure. The circumstances of her disappearance, the fear in her voice, it all hinted at something more sinister. The mystery of Shannon Gilbert, intertwined with the larger puzzle of the Gilgo Beach murders, only added another layer of complexity to an already baffling case. It was a name whispered in hushed tones, a name that sent shivers down the spines of those who dared utter it. Rex Heuermann, an architect, a family man, a man who lived a seemingly ordinary life just miles from where those bodies were discovered. Could this unassuming figure truly be the monster they had been searching for all these years? Heuermann's arrest in July 2023 sent shockwaves through Long Island and beyond. Here was a man who, on the surface, seemed to have it all: a successful career, a wife, children, a home in the suburbs. But beneath this veneer of normalcy, investigators believed lurked a darkness that had haunted Gilgo Beach for over a decade. The news spread like wildfire, igniting a media frenzy that descended upon this quiet community. Cameras flashed, microphones were thrust forward, and everyone, it seemed, had an opinion on the man now at the center of this chilling mystery. But as the dust settled, one question remained: was Rex Heuermann the sole perpetrator of these heinous crimes, or were there other sinister forces at play? Section 2. DNA doesn't lie. In the world of criminal justice, there is often no greater truth-teller than DNA. It's a silent witness, a microscopic record of life itself, and in the case of Rex Heuermann, it would prove to be his undoing. Investigators painstakingly collected and analyzed countless pieces of evidence, hoping to find that one irrefutable link that would lead them to the killer. And then, like a beacon in the darkness, it appeared: a DNA match. A single strand, extracted from a pizza crust discarded by Heuermann himself, connected him to at least 3 of the Gilgo Beach victims. The science was undeniable, the implications staggering. The man who had blended so seamlessly into the fabric of society had left behind a trail that would ultimately expose him. The discovery of this crucial piece of evidence marked a turning point in the investigation. It was the break they had been waiting for, the key that unlocked the door to a labyrinth of secrets that Heuermann had guarded so closely. But as investigators delved deeper into the life of this seemingly ordinary man, they uncovered a web of disturbing details that hinted at a darkness far more profound than anyone could have imagined. Section 3. A glimmer of hope. For the families of the victims, the arrest brought a mix of emotions: relief, anger, a profound sense of validation. For years they had lived with the unbearable pain of not knowing, the unanswered questions that haunted their waking hours. Now, with Heuermann behind bars, there was a glimmer of hope, a chance for closure, and perhaps a measure of justice. But even as the legal process began to unfold, a sense of unease lingered. Was Heuermann acting alone, or were there others involved in this intricate web of evil? The investigation was far from over, and the possibility remained that more disturbing truths were yet to be revealed. The arrest of Rex Heuermann was a significant victory, but it was just one chapter in a story that was far from over. The families of the victims, forever bound by this shared tragedy, would continue to seek answers, to fight for justice, and to honor the memory of their loved ones, whose lives were cut tragically short on the desolate shores of Gilgo Beach. In the shadow of arrest, amidst the clamor for answers and the pursuit of justice, it's easy to lose sight of the human toll exacted by this horrific crime. We often hear about the victims in the abstract, their names reduced to headlines and their stories condensed into sound bites. But behind each of those names was a life, a story waiting to be told, a person loved and cherished by those they left behind. There was Melissa Barthelemy, a young woman with a warm smile and a contagious laugh who dreamed of one day opening her own bakery, and Amber Costello, a free spirit with a passion for music and a heart that yearned for adventure, and Megan Waterman, a devoted mother who adored her daughter and would do anything to protect her. These women and the others whose lives were tragically cut short were more than just victims. They were daughters, sisters, mothers, friends. They were real people with hopes, dreams, and aspirations that were cruelly snatched away. Their stories remind us that behind every headline, behind every shocking revelation, there are real people whose lives have been irrevocably altered. Their stories demand our attention, our empathy, and our unwavering commitment to seeking justice on their behalf. We must never forget their names, their faces, or the tragic circumstances that brought them to the desolate shores of Gilgo Beach. Section 2. The Shadow of Fear. For years, a palpable sense of fear had gripped the community surrounding Gilgo Beach. The knowledge that a killer walked among them, hidden in plain sight, cast a long shadow over their lives. Parents held their children a little closer, neighbors eyed each other with suspicion, and a once peaceful community grappled with a collective trauma that seemed to seep into every aspect of their existence. The arrest of Rex Heuermann provided a measure of relief, a sense that the boogeyman had finally been unmasked. But the scars of fear ran deep, a stark reminder of the vulnerability that lay beneath the surface of their seemingly idyllic lives. The investigation into the Gilgo Beach murders exposed a darkness that many struggled to comprehend. It forced them to confront the unsettling reality that evil can lurk in the most unexpected places, even in the seemingly safe haven of their own community. Section 3. A Call for Justice. The arrest of Rex Heuermann marked a significant turning point in the Gilgo Beach case, but it was by no means the end of the story. The families of the victims still deserved answers, closure, and a measure of justice that seemed perpetually out of reach. The investigation was ongoing, and the possibility remained that Heuermann did not act alone. This case, with its intricate web of secrets, its haunting details, and its devastating impact on so many lives, serves as a stark reminder of the importance of seeking justice for victims of violent crime. It highlights the critical role that law enforcement, forensic science, and the unwavering dedication of those who refuse to let such crimes go unpunished play in bringing closure to grieving families and restoring a sense of security to communities shattered by violence. And so, the story of Gilgo Beach continues to unfold, a chilling reminder that even in the most idyllic of settings, darkness can lurk beneath the surface. The arrest of Rex Heuermann offered a glimmer of hope, a sense that justice might finally be served. But questions remain, shadows linger, and the families of the victims still await the day when they can finally find peace. If this case chills you as much as it chills me, smash that like button, share this video, and subscribe for more deep dives into the crimes that shape our world. Also, comment below, do you believe Rex Heuermann acted alone? Or is the truth even darker than we suspect?